Hey all, good morning, afternoon, or evening, whatever it may be for wherever you are. I am Stephanie Joy with all things Social Security and the Joy Disability Law Office. Your video is about to start. I wanted to remind you of our live Q&A sessions here on YouTube as well. They start at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, so it's a little earlier for you Western folks. And I look forward to seeing you there. It's a first come, first served basis in terms of the questions you might want to pose in the chat. And I will pick them up going from beginning to end for about a 2 hour period. So, anyway, I hope to see you there. Have a great one, and I will talk to you guys later. Bye. Good morning, afternoon, or evening. Don't know what time it is for you. Yesterday, the SSA put out another press release, I guess trying to keep everybody informed since things are moving along. At quite a rate, I suppose. So this was dated March 24th. I'm just going to share it to you. It's nothing urgent, so I'm not putting any kind of rush on this one. But it's pretty substantial because they noted a lot of things in here. The title of it, and I will link it below if I forget to when it goes up, just let me know. Social Security increases transparency and accountability dash shares more information online. So this came out yesterday, March 24th. Today is the 25th, but I don't know when I'm going to get this to you. It might be a few days from now. Anyway, so they talk about several new initiatives and resources to promote greater transparency and accountability. I assume everybody is favorable on that. If someone doesn't like transparency or accountability, um, give us the reasons. We kind of know who doesn't want him. And they're not usually good actors, right? Okay. So let's see. I'm not going to go into some of the basic quotations. Okay. So the first, and it's one, two, three, four, five, six, I guess, initiatives that are listed here, all in one article. So I'm just going to go through them. There are actually links in here to more details. So I don't want to necessarily go through them now. If I think maybe we need to later, we can do that. So the first one is what to know about proving your identity. Now, as you know, guys, we have to prove our identity very frequently online with two-factor authentication, things like that. Um, and a lot of commercial companies have learned not to do things over the phone, and therefore they have their portals because they can't encrypt your phone, but they or prevent someone from calling pretending they're you, but they can make a secure portal where you get two-factor authentication. So the chance of someone else not being you getting in there is very slim. So here's what they say. They say that the SSA recently announced its strengthening identity proofing requirements, and we did announce that for people who do not use the My Social Security account system that they have set up. So for people who use the My Social Security account to apply for their benefits, this isn't for them. They don't need to do this. And obviously, the majority of people use their My Social Security account to do various things, whether it is to apply or to change direct deposit or to download benefits verification letters if they're taking out a mortgage or, any of those kind of things, or need to prove their income for some reason. All that is done online, including if you're going to file directly yourself and not have a third party applier, such as myself filing your application, you would be doing that, as I understand it now, by starting through your My Social Security account. And that's how they know that it's you doing it and nobody pretending to be you. So when it's a third party, like myself, they handle it a little differently because anyone could be a third party. If they have your private information, which that happens all the time now, and it's not from the SSA dropping it, by the way. There was news items even last year about companies that hold a lot of data, including social security numbers of customers. I think it was a marketing company. Um, and various companies, I guess, sell these lists and everything. And they got hacked. So, it happens and it's going to happen, but I believe it has not happened from the SSA yet. I believe. If you have a link to where it has, let me know. And I'm talking about a big breach. Okay. So they're just reminding us about the new rule. If you're not going to use the online Social Security account, when you're going to have to come into their office and prove who you are to get something done because they don't want a stranger doing it on your account, such as changing your banking information, direct deposit, so they can abscond with your check, which we've seen a lot of. Weekly operational report meetings. So the acting commissioner, Dudek, this is the second one, meets with his senior leadership team throughout the week to tackle a range of challenges facing the agency. And I'm kind of just reading this one. During the weekly operational report meeting, leaders focus on specific topics, the options presented to the acting commissioner, and the resulting decisions made during these meetings. Beginning March 14th, 2025, each WOR, which is the weekly operational report, is recorded and published to SSA's YouTube channel. Well, that's pretty cool. I don't think I knew about that. I'm going to subscribe because I want to know what's going on. I mean, I feel like I'm always on top of it, but this could be an easier way. I don't have to do as much reading, maybe. The war, I don't want to say what it's WOR, guys. I don't want to say whatever. WOR. The war playlist is available here, and they give a link to the SSA weekly operational reports meetings. So you can go see it for yourself. I'm going to be checking this out. So you have two links there, the SSA's YouTube channel, where they're going to report what's going on, and the SSA weekly operational report meetings. That's pretty cool. I don't think we've ever seen this in history where an agency is going to share with the people such things. Next section, agency actions. Acting Commissioner Dudek also published online a summary of select agency challenges. We know there are many, right, guys? We've been dealing with them for years, the last few years, exceedingly difficult times. Options presented, and the acting commissioner's ultimate decisions. So that's pretty cool. They're going to review various options, I guess, when people give suggestions, and the acting commissioner will ultimately make the decision. The SSA plans to update this page periodically to include notable matters the current administration is solving. And there is a link called Agency Actions slash SSA. So that's there too. So another resource. The national, this is what are we on the fourth one now? Number 4, the national 800 number wait times. Now I know last year or the year before, I think it was last year, maybe early in the year, not sure exactly when. I think it was prior Commissioner O'Malley said they gave this goal of how fast they wanted the 1-800 number to improve um, in terms of wait times. And I don't think they met the goal. I don't think it was improved at all. Actually, I think it went downhill. So that was probably a complete bust. But what do these guys say now? Okay, they state the obvious. I'm seeing here. The American people do not receive the prompt customer service they deserve when calling the agency's 800 number. I can attest to that. I tried to call yesterday. They told me it was over 120 minutes and they hung up on me. The automated system did that. Despite the knowledge, dedication, and experience of SSA's phone representatives, customers wait too long to speak with a representative. Yeah, for sure. People deserve to know the wait time challenges they will face if unable to use the agency's secure and convenient online services. So again, guys, the push, and it's been for a couple years now at least, has been to get all of us online to the extent we can to do all these things so there doesn't have to be an SSA worker typing in stuff that we could type in for every single one of us that wants to type something in. That would be a whole another worker, right? So it makes sense to go with the online as much as we can. I do it at every turn when I can. Acting Commissioner Dudek is increasing the level of detail shared with the public to provide an honest and transparent view of wait times. That's super sweet. I saw gosh, I was on hold for something. It was a chat hold for some sort of customer service. I forget what I was doing. And I think this was yesterday too. Um, I was having some sort of, I think it was a tech difficulty issue. I'm not sure. I can't remember, but sometimes when I'm all by my lonesome, I got to do it myself. And that it was for a chat assistance, getting a live agent or whatever. And they had something that would tell you how many minutes till your turn because they could or they maybe they give you the queue. Maybe it was a queue. Like I was like 113, and I'm like, oh heck no. How long is that going to take? When I do chats with something, a live body, it's usually at least 5, 10 minutes, and that's if nothing really bad is going on. So that I knew was not going to be tolerable. So I literally had the chat screen over in one of my multiple monitors here, and I would just glance over and see where am I in the queue. And I continued about my workday. So that was really cool. I wonder if they could do something like that, although they don't really do a chat, but um, maybe they should. I don't know. I know they could probably say, we estimate your time remaining at. It would be nice if they had, see, these are my suggestions, right? If they had online, before you call, you could go online to the SSA.gov site and they could give you a little window that says, currently the 800 number wait time is. And if that is a really real-time accurate number, I think that would be great because it might be where I'm like, gee, I'm not gonna make the call today because I gotta run and pick up my son in 45 minutes. And if the wait time is estimated to be longer than that, that would be nice to not have to make the phone call, go through all those menu items that are completely annoying, very annoying, and not have to bother and pick a different day. Or realize, oh, it's 76 minutes. I can sit here with my phone plugged in so it doesn't die on me, put it on speakerphone, and when they pick up, I'm dandy. So I don't know, just a few ideas if anybody's listening. Okay, they gave us some links. One is Social Security Performance slash SSA, and the other one is Contact Social Security by phone. Okay, so the next one, which is number 5, so that one is all about them being transparent and letting you know what the wait's going to be so that you're not sitting on hold for 20 minutes only to learn that you're going to, there's another 2 hours. It would be nice to know in advance so we don't waste our time. Agree or disagree? The next one, that would be number what? 6? 1, 2, 3, 4. I just said that was 4. 5, efficiencies and cost avoidance. SSA works closely with the General Services Administration, that's GSA, I believe, to identify unused and underutilized office space. SSA published its efficiencies and cost avoidance webpage. So that's a webpage, and they have a link to it, guys, that lists soft term lease terminations, including an explanation for each location and whether any change affects the public or not. That's really great because I've gotten messages from people, some of you out there, that said they're closing down all the offices. I'm like, no, they're not. No, they're not. Um, so, they listen to, some false headline or YouTube or something, and it's just not really accurate. So, no, none of us need stress we don't need. Let's not self-create it, right? Let's not go to sources like that for our information. They're there to make money off of you doing that. So don't do it. Okay, they said for nearly all locations, the space being terminated. So for nearly all locations where space is terminated, guys, they're saying for nearly all those locations is only a small room within the larger Social Security office location. So I'm not sure what that means, although I was reading something else about that and I still didn't fully understand. So I'm going to try to find out about that. So is it that they have a space for an SSA office and they're only not going to be using this little piece over here because they weren't really using it? And that's considered an office? So even though it's not used because everyone's over here in the other rooms, I don't know. It almost sounded like that, but I'm not sure because I'm just not getting it fully to feel very confident yet in what that means. But I know people were like, they're closing all the, and I knew from what I'd read that that was inaccurate, but I saw the headers, I saw the false headers and the clickbait things getting your attention. And of course, they didn't have anything to link you to that would support it. They just assume you're going to believe them. Okay, the last and final one, guys, number 6, workforce update. SSA identified opportunities to optimize its workforce by offering voluntary opportunities to depart the agency or move to a frontline customer service position. I've been saying this for a few weeks because I already had the wind of this. Um, the offer for those with the skills and the desire to keep a job with the SSA or the federal government or whatever, uh, the offer is to move to frontline customer service position because the goal is that the people need to be taken care of before the Office for Interior Design of the SSA offices gets to take workers, or the what do I say, recipe creation department gets funded for workers. So when those, and those are just being, those are jokes, guys. Um, those workers who are kind of in a non-useful area, just getting paid to do something non-useful for SSA, and the people it's supposed to serve, which is claimants, beneficiaries, or families, and somewhat to some degree, people like myself, but only indirectly because everything is through you guys. Um, that's where their workers, they're trying to, and it makes sense, considering that those jobs don't necessarily take a specified degree of any kind. They can move people over from other departments that are a little frivolous and move them over to frontline customer service positions. And that's how probably our phone lines are going to start getting answered again, our in-person offices, as well as people picking up the phones when we call those offices. So this is what had been in the scuttlebutt for quite a while now, and I'd alluded to it before, but some people don't want to listen because it's not scary. It doesn't make them scared, and I guess some people are addicted to being scared. I don't know. Anywho, they have a link in that same paragraph for workforce update, so we can actually go directly there. That looks exciting. I can't wait to get time to dig into that. So it's workforce update slash. And by the way, when I'm saying slash in this, it's an up and down line. It's not a um, so workforce update slash vertical news slash vertical SSA. And it's a web page that briefly explains each voluntary option and how many employees accepted that option. That's very cool. I haven't seen the numbers yet, so I look forward to looking at that. Will they quit? You know, are they looking for a, I mean, if some are getting severances, I don't know if all of them are, but you know, that could be tempting too for someone who's like, I really don't even like doing customer service, which I can understand. It's a very difficult field, and I don't think everyone has a temperament for it. So the grumpy pants gots to go, maybe, and the people with a temperament and a caring for claimants and beneficiaries, I hope they stay. You know, if they've got that skill set and that the patience, you know, there's a lot to it. I don't know. I don't know how I'd be, you know. I'd like to think I would, but I don't know. I don't know if that's so. I don't necessarily have that much patience. But okay, guys, this is a kind of a lengthy share here, but I'm going to link it to you, and that's what they're talking about. So we have all sorts of resources here. So let's use them instead of finding out all of our information through bloggers and YouTube and what else? Oh yeah, some of those bigger media companies that are now apparently using bloggers for all their information. I don't know, with no, you know, authoritative citations, as far as I can see. All right, guys, bye now. Oh, and don't forget, Wednesday, live Q&A, 1 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Bye, guys.